Good afternoon. My name is Bethany, and I am here with Yoga for Change in Tampa Bay area. And let's enjoy a nice chair practice today. All you need is a chair, preferably with no arms, and that's it. Let's begin by bringing our attention to the breath. And as you begin to bring your attention inward, can you feel the weight of your body on your sitting bones? So where your sitting bones are touching the chair, can you feel that contact? Can you feel the sensation of your feet touching the floor? You can have your shoes on, you could have socks on, you could be barefooted. It doesn't matter, whatever is in your comfort zone. And as you're breathing and bringing your awareness to sensation in the body, can you ground into your feet and into your sitting bones and begin to lift up through the crown of your head, lengthening your spine till you're at your fullest height. Once you find your fullest height, allow the shoulders to relax. Feel the weight of your arms where they're touching any other body part, maybe resting on your legs, or they might actually be resting alongside the chair. And you could feel your arm touching maybe the side of your body. Once you find yourself in this comfortable seated position, allow yourself to let the mind go for any amount of time, focusing instead on the sensations in your body. And from this space of ease, comfort, focus, from this place, begin to lift your tailbone up. So if your sitting bones were feet, you're going to roll your weight to the toe part of the sitting bones, so the front of the sitting bones. Tailbone lifts. Allow your spine to absorb that movement. Breastbone will move forward. Shoulders might drop down. Coming into a little bit of a back bend here. And now let's tuck the tail between the legs, moving from the pelvis, rounding your back. And moving from one extreme to the other, arching back, and then tucking the tail between your legs, so you'll be rocking to the back of the sitting bones now. Good, like a seated cat-cow, if you're familiar with the cat-cow shape that we do in yoga. And just keep moving at your own breath pace. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see me from the side. So tailbone lifting up, breastbone moving forward, arching back, tail tucking between the legs and rounding forward, letting your spine curl. Beautiful. And as you move through these shapes, can you stay in the sensations of the body? What feels open and what feels maybe a little resistant? And love both areas equally. One not more than the other. Beautiful. The next time you're in the middle, you're not rounded forward, you're not arching back. You're sitting comfortably in the center. Take a few rounds of breath to integrate that movement. And let's cross the arms in front of the chest so you make the letter X. Where your hands are touching, gently press in and let your elbows relax. And let's curl over the arms now and begin to roll from one side to the other. And when you go back, tip yourself backwards. Good. Making a big circle with your torso. Getting into the side body, the flexion and extension of the spine that we were just doing in the cat-cow shape. And now we're just getting more into the sides as well. Wherever you are in your circle, let's pause and go the opposite direction. And notice the sensations that arise for you. Where are you feeling resistance? Where are you feeling open? Beautiful. And wherever you are, let's pause, come back into the center. You can bring your arms down to rest either alongside the chair or resting on your legs. Let's straighten the left leg. Bring the heel so that the heel touches the floor. Your left hand can be resting on your legs if you want. And let's point and flex the foot here. Heel is touching the floor. Good. The next time the foot is flexed, we're going to keep the foot in that position. And let's lift the leg any amount. And then lower. Beautiful. So the leg is very heavy. You might be noticing that. And as you lift and lower, just try to stay nice and tall in your spine. And the next time the heel is touching the floor, you can keep it here. Begin to pull your heel in towards the chair, along the mat or along the floor, pulling as if you're really going to try to dig a groove in the floor. So really pulling until the heel comes under the knee, and then you can release all effort. Let's do the other leg. So right leg is straight. With the heel on the floor, point and flex the foot. I just notice what it feels like in the ankle joint. Maybe even feeling some sensation in the back of the leg in the calf area. And the next time the foot is flexed, keep the foot flexing. We're going to lift the leg straight leg at any amount and lower. Good, just staying nice and anchored into the sitting bones and lifting straight up through the crown of the head. That can be the hardest part, trying to maintain a nice upright posture here. And the next time the heel is touching the floor, begin to pull that leg, bending the knee, pull it in as if you're trying to create a little groove in the floor with your heel. Just pull with resistance until that heel comes under the knee, and then you can completely relax. Good. You might just want to give yourself a little massage. Good. Let's lift the heels and lower. Again, noticing what's happening in the ankle joint, but also in the back of the leg, so the calf area. And the next time the heels are on the floor, keep them there. Let's lift the left foot up. Maybe you can hover it a little bit off the floor. If this feels like it's too much exertion for you, go back to just lifting your heel up. So the ball of the foot would still be touching, heel lifted, or foot completely off the floor. It's your choice. One is not better than the other. It's just what you're feeling today. And we'll lower that foot back to the floor. Let's lift the right foot up off the floor. Alternately, your other choice would be just lifting the heel up, keeping the ball of the foot down. So what works best for you on this side? Take that shape. If you can breathe in and out easily through the nose, then it's not too much exertion. If you're feeling like you need to suck in breath through your mouth, not because you have a stuffy nose, but because you're just not getting enough breath, then that might be too much for you. And we'll lower the foot back to the floor. Good. Give yourself a little massage. Going back to the left leg, either lifting just the heel or the foot up off the floor, begin to roll through the hips. So leg bone rolling around in the hip socket. If the foot's on the floor, to look like this. Choose the one that works best for you. And we'll go in the opposite direction. Wherever you are, you can begin to bring that foot back down to the floor. Okay. Other side, right heel lifts or the entire foot lifts, and let's begin to roll the leg bone around in the hip socket. If your toes are still touching the floor, it looks like this. And we'll go the opposite direction. Begin to lower that foot back toward the floor. Maybe give yourself a little massage here. Nice. Let's take both legs straight. The legs will be a little bit farther apart. So heels are on the floor, and I'm going to windshield wiper my legs. So they're both going this way. They're both going this way. I'm moving from where my leg meets my body. So as that movement's coming from the hip socket, the knee and the foot are just following along. Yeah. So a couple more like this. The next time the toes are facing up, bend one knee, bend the other knee. Knees are a little wider than your shoulders, and we're going to drop both knees to the left now. Let your feet move. So we don't want the feet pegged to the floor here. We want them to freely move. Lift up in the middle, drop the knees to the right. Lifting up through the middle, dropping the knees to the left. And now you might find that you're butt walking towards the edge of your chair, and that's normal because we are round. But if you feel like you might be in danger of dropping off your chair, just bump yourself back and come back to it. Okay. The next time your knees are in the center, grab onto the chair, bump your bottom off. So my right sitting bone is on the chair, my left is not. And I'm straightening the left leg till the toes are facing forward or out to the side. So this is also going to be up to you. Sometimes people just naturally are on their heel with their toes facing the ceiling. I just naturally have my foot facing forward. Again, one is not better than the other. Find the one that you like. So you have the side of the chair to hold on to here. Bring your left arm up. Roll that arm bone so your palm faces your head. Let's lift and curl towards the right. As I curl towards the right, my right elbow is bending to allow me some space. And I'm going to feel this lengthening in my side body all the way from the left ankle all the way to the left fingertip. Let's float ourselves up. Drop this arm down. You can come to the inside of the leg. Now you can continue to hold with your right arm just to feel a little more stability, curling towards the left. Or if you feel pretty stable, you could take your right arm up, roll that arm bone so that the palm faces your head, curl everything towards the left foot. And just notice how that feels. Float it back up. One more time each side. Left arm lifting, right elbow bending, reaching towards the right. Floating up. Arm touching the leg, either holding onto the chair for stability or allowing this arm to float up and curl to this side. Now notice where your head wants to be. It's going to tell you very clearly where it wants to be. Some of these positions just aren't comfortable. And grow taller. And let's come out by bending this knee. Take your time bending the knee in. And begin to bump your bottom into the center. Before we go to the other side, we're taking a couple rounds of breath here. And you might just want to roll through the hips, doing some circles here just to massage any area of the low back or the hips that might need a little love. We're going to go in both directions. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to bump the right side of my bum off the side of the chair. Right leg goes out to the side, so this is stabilizing me. Again, your foot position is up to you. Find what feels most comfortable for you. That's your choice. We're going to slide the right arm up as best you can alongside the right side of your head. Roll that arm bone so the palm faces your head, and let's begin to reach towards the left. Left hand is holding, my elbow is bending, and I'm reaching away. So from the right ankle all the way to the right fingertips, lengthening the whole right side, finding where my head is comfortable. And then floating up. And let this arm come down. I can keep holding if I need this for stability. Or if you want, you can lift the left arm up, roll the left arm bone so the palm faces the head, grow, and reach towards the foot. Good, coming up. And let's go one more time each side. Reaching, finding where the head is comfortable. Floating up, arm down, nice. Good. Notice those parts in the body that feel a little resistant to this movement. And can you bring the wave of breath into that area? Now for me, it's tight right here. Even though I know that I don't have lungs here, the ripple of breath is flowing there, and I can concentrate on that. Let's lift up. Good. Going to begin to come out, bringing that knee back in, sitting on the chair. And I'm going to pause here. If you want to do a few rolls here, feel free. I'm just going to sit with the sensations that arose for me in that position. How does the right side feel? How does the left side feel? How do they feel different? Let's bring the arms up till they're at shoulder height. Palms are facing down here. I'm going to reach forward parallel to the floor, hinging at my hips, and then glide myself back up. Reaching forward, gliding back. Good. And sometimes you can come so far forward that your bottom could lift up off the chair. And again, that does not have to be your goal. Sometimes it just happens. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what's happening. But again, if that's not in the cards for you today, you're still doing fine. Just reaching forward. Wherever you are, sometimes you can just lift yourself and come to standing. Sometimes you might need the support of the chair to come to standing. So find a way to come to standing. We'll come around behind the chair. Now I'm going to turn my chair sideways so you can see what I'm doing. You don't have to turn your chair sideways. So come behind your chair, hands on the back, as wide apart as they comfortably can fit. Some chairs have a more narrow back, but just use what you have. And let's walk the legs back, reach your arms forward. Come towards a position where it feels like you might be flying parallel to the floor. So I'm looking forward. My arms are reaching forward and my bottom is reaching back. So I'm trying to create a sense of opposite direction pulling here. I'm creating that in my own body by reaching forward and pulling back at the same time. As I breathe, I'm feeling, where do I feel resistance in the rib cage, maybe even the shoulders. Now, if one of your shoulders just feels very uncomfortable in this situation, you can let that arm hang. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It definitely shouldn't be feeling painful. So if it's feeling a little bit uncomfortable, let it hang. Wherever you are, begin to soften your knees. Walk yourself back in. Take your time. You were just upside down. Take a moment to get your bearings back. And when you're ready, come to stand on the right side of the chair. My left hand's touching to give me a little stability. I'm going to lift my heels up, lower my heels down. So we did this in the chair seated, and now we're adding a little more weight, body weight to it. Just a few more until you start to feel that effort happening not just even in the calf now, but you might feel it through the entirety of the back body. Beautiful. Next time the heels are down, walk in place. Let's move any tension out of the body. Come to stillness. Bring more weight into the left leg, so the leg that's closest to the chair. I'm going to shift my weight over there and bend the right knee. So I'm on the ball of the foot here on the right side. Grounding into that left leg, I'm going to begin to grow taller. I might be able to pick the toes up off of the floor on the right side. Might not be able to do that. Either way, you could leave them down or you could lift up. It's up to you. And let's open the knee out to the side and then close. Opening it out and closing at your own pace. If your toes are touching the floor, it looks like this. And then find a place to take your foot. So if your foot is touching the floor, it just might be like this. Turn the knee out. You could also choose to take your foot onto your leg somewhere. Pause here. Get really tall. So when this outer hip starts to get tired on the standing leg, it might start to sag towards the chair and you'll feel it touching the chair. That's a little indicator to lift up, draw it back in. Nice. You could take your arm out to the side. You could take your arm up. Finding your expression of tree pose here. So your anchor leg is rooting you down into the earth and then you're lifting up out of that. When you're ready, come out the way you came in. We'll take the arm down first. Take the knee forward. If your foot's on your other leg, step it down, and then everybody begins to just walk in place. See how that feels. Let's go to the other side of the chair. So my right hand is going to be here for stability. I'm going to begin to lift both heels up, warming up, not just the ankles, but the entire back of the leg. From the calf all the way up into your bum muscles even. Good. If you're feeling pretty confident with this, you can begin to take your fingertips up off of the chair. If you're not, if you're feeling a little more unsteady, just hold on. The chair is here for you to help you with your balance. Okay. Just a couple more. I know they get tiring, don't they? Next time the heels touch the floor, you can pause, walk it out. I'm going to lean my weight a little bit more into the right leg now. Bend the left knee. So ball of the foot is on the floor, knee is bent. You get really tall here. Choose to have the ball of the foot touching the floor, or you might want to lift the foot up off the floor. Your choice. And let's open out to the side and close. Beautiful. Toes touching would look like this. Take the time to feel what muscle is allowing this movement to occur. And just find that answer for yourself. Then you could find a place to put your foot. Your toes could touch the floor. They could touch another part of your leg. Wherever the foot is touching, just ground in there and begin to lift nice and tall. Beautiful. Your arm can be here. It could be up. It could be reaching out to the side to help you with your balance. Good. Wherever you are, feel nice and rooted into the earth and then lift up out of that. Good. From your waist down, grounding down, from your waist up, lifting up. If this hip starts to get tired, you'll notice it because it's going to touch the chair probably. It's going to just start to hang out to the side. And if that's happening for you, just remember you have a string in the top of your head. Someone is lifting you up. Pull that in. Couple more breaths wherever you are in your tree pose. Begin to come out the way you came in. Nice. Let's walk in place, walk that out. Feel the sensations you're feeling in your hips, your lower body. Come around to the front of the chair now. Let's begin. Take your legs wider apart. Your feet might naturally turn out. Your toes might face forward. It's totally up to your body. Your body's going to let you know. We'll do a few rounds of squatting here. So I'm hinging at my hips, sending my bottom back. Make sure you're right in front of your chair seat. So as you come down, almost touch the seat and then begin to straighten your legs, push through your heels. Good. If your hands are on your legs, that gives you a little more support. You could always take your arms forward. Nice. The next time you're almost sitting in the chair, go ahead and let yourself sit down. And if your knees are tender, you don't have to go this low. Just bend and lower yourself with your hands. And you're going to bring the legs forward again. Take a few moments just feeling the sensations. I'm going to walk my legs around to the left side of the chair here. Holding onto the back with my left hand, I'm going to bump my bottom a little bit off of the chair. So the right sitting bone is not on the chair anymore. You begin to step this leg back, moving towards a lunging shape. I'm going to walk this foot forward a little bit so that the knee is over the heel. And you can stay in this position. This is nice hip extension. Have this leg be as straight as can be. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just feel where you're feeling resistance and pause there. Now, if you want to, you can encourage yourself to press into your feet, float yourself up, and then lower yourself back down. You can do that a couple times. Now, if that's not available for you, just know that pushing into your legs and lifting up as if you're going to lift up, that's just the exact same thing. It's just less weight. This is my body weight, so it's adding more weight. Good. Next time you're down, you can begin to creep this back leg back in. Good. Take a moment here. You can squeeze that bottom onto the chair if you can fit. It's harder to fit this side. I can barely fit. All right, let's walk around. Other side. So my right arm's here to support me. I'm going to bump my bottom off the chair so the left sitting bone's not touching anymore. And begin to walk this leg back just till I feel resistance. So it might be here for some of us. It might be back here. It's all of this is good. I want you to feel where your body is telling you to stop and listen. I'm going to walk this foot a little bit forward so my heel is underneath the knee. And I'm going to ground down. Maybe this is available, maybe it's not. To begin to press into your feet, grow taller, possibly lift yourself up and lower back down. Give it a try. And again, if you're grounding into your feet and lifting up, but you're not actually getting lifted off the chair, that's fine. That's the same exact thing. You're engaging everything that I want to engage, and you're drawing up. You just aren't adding the extra load, and that's your choice. You don't have to add a lot of load. Okay. The next time your sitting bone is touching, you can begin to slowly bring the back leg forward. And bump yourself back onto the chair. Take a moment. Walk your feet around to the front. Let's cross the left ankle over the right ankle. And you might be able to slide that ankle up over your knee and onto your thigh. If that feels very effortful, or if you feel like you need to grab your leg and pull it up, don't bother. Just slide the ankles back down so that they're crossed. So either ankles are crossed or ankle is crossed over the thigh. Find which one works for you. One is not better than the other. Wherever you are, begin to grow taller. And notice where you're feeling sensation. You might want to choose folding forward here, and if you're folding, I want you to hinge. So by hinging, I imagine that I have grabbed a string that is attached to your belly button, and I'm pulling you forward, like you're going to take your belly button over your shin. You're lengthening. And if you begin to feel some sensations of resistance in your outer hip, pause immediately. So you want green and yellow light, not red light. So if we're folding forward with ease, that's green light. You start to feel some resistance, that is yellow light. You should probably stop. If you're in red light, you're feeling pain, then I would like you to come out. Let's take a few more rounds of breath in this shape. If you ever feel sensation of stretching in the knee joint itself, I want you to come out. I don't really like sensation in the knee joint like that. If you folded yourself forward, begin to lengthen a little more forward and then hinge yourself up. Nice. If your ankle happens to be over the knee, just slide it over, down the shin, and then everybody uncross your ankles. Take a moment to feel your sensations. We'll cross the right ankle over the left. See if you can slide that ankle up and over your knee. If you cannot, then just slide it back down. Keep your ankles crossed. That's your position for today. And if it's up and over the knee, then this would also be fine, if you can get it here with ease. Sometimes you'll notice you can do it on one side and not the other, which is completely normal. Let's begin to feel what you're feeling. If you're feeling some strong sensations in the outer hip on this side, you've gone far enough. Everybody lift a little taller. Your other option here would be to hinge forward, and by hinge I mean like pulling your belly button over your shin. So you're getting longer as you lengthen forward. You might hinge at the hips a little bit. And then you're going to feel more sensation probably. So stay in the yellow light area. Can you check in with your jaw, your face, your tongue, your lips? Are they soft or are they gripping? And if so, can you relax? Whatever shape you've taken is perfect for your body. Take this time to go inward a little bit. Now, if you've hinged yourself forward, lengthen and hinge back up. If your ankle is over your thigh, slide it over the knee, down the front of the shin, and then everybody uncross your ankles. Good. Let's take the legs a little wider apart, and let's do some rolls again. So any tension that's in the hips, the low back, we're going to roll it out. And you can make these rolls as slow as you like, as fast as you like. This is a massage for yourself before we go into resting. Wherever you are in your circle, let's pause and go the opposite direction. Notice the difference between this direction and the other one. Gentle massage. Wherever you are in your circle, pause. Let's come back up into the center. You bring your legs closer in and begin to walk your bottom back or scoot your bottom back so that your body can soften into the chair itself. So we don't have anything else to do now. This is the time when the body integrates all of the work that you've done. Let the chair support you. Let the mind go. No criticism, no commentary. Softening into the chair. And give yourself permission to completely relax and let go. I'm going to stop talking and we're going to rest here in the chair until I begin to talk you back out. Begin to bring your attention back to your breath. And let the wave of your inhalation and your exhalation draw you back into your space. Your eyes will spontaneously open when your body is ready for movement, so there's no rush. I thank you for joining me. Namaste.